Okay, here we go.
Right. Oh, hey, welcome.
Sorry, but I never used Telegram for this kind of stuff, so didn't know that I have to grant permission to access to the microphone. In
Right,
hindsight, it's a good thing.
right. So, yeah, welcome, Andrea. Let's
Thank
give
you.
it one more minute for people to join in.
Sure.
I see people joining in ongoing. So let's give it a one more minute, and we will
Yeah,
kick off.
no problem.
Cool. So, yeah, guys, I guess it's a good moment to start. So, first of all, welcome everybody. Once again, it's the fourth episode, I believe, of the Know the Team program, and today we have Andrea live on air. Andrea, just help me a little bit. How to pronounce your surname, because I was trying it today, and I couldn't make it happen. So
No,
if you
don't,
could help
no.
me out there.
Yeah, don't worry. It's a common problem. The actual pronunciation is Suisani.
Suisani.
Yeah.
All right.
Yes,
All right.
yes.
All right. Okay. Cool.
But it doesn't.
So
I mean, I'm so used to get that mangled, so that don't worry. I have developed a skill to understand all the way people can, pronunciate my surname and somewhat guess that they are talking to me. So
right.
don't
Right.
worry, don't worry.
I didn't want to try it, so
Yeah.
therefore
But
I was
I
hesitant.
understand.
Sure.
Cool.
Okay. Cool. So yeah, guys, we have Andrea here. Suisani. I say it wrong again, I think.
Yeah, don't worry, don't worry. It's okay.
All right. Cool. Cool. So yeah, it's the core developer of Bitcoin Unlimited. And just like you guys are used to previous couple of episodes. I'm just going to ask a couple of questions. How Andrea is looking at the crypto market in general, in cryptocurrencies, how he looks like in general on Bitcoin Unlimited, what is his future perspective, what the future perspective of Nexa is, and all these kind of things. So yeah, I'm very happy to have him live on air, because obviously usually it's like either Paul talking or Andrew Stone or myself. So it's very good to have a to have a voice at the face and the name that you see around in the Bitcoin Unlimited team. So
Yeah.
yeah, once again, guys, thank you very much for joining, and Andrea, thank you very much for your time too. Um,
Welcome for yeah. Welcome for having me. It's a pleasure.
all right, great, thank you for that. So yeah, let's kick it off. Very basic, simple question, I would say.
Sure.
Like obviously you've been quite some time with Bitcoin Unlimited, right? And
Yeah.
perhaps you can explain a little bit of your past within Bitcoin Unlimited,
Yeah.
how you look at the future there, and foremost, what are you exactly doing within Bitcoin Unlimited, and
Yeah.
specifically for Nexa, right?
Yeah, for sure. So I've been with Bitcoin Unlimited since the beginning, which was I don't even recall the actual date. One premises, I'm not as good as I would like with dates and chronological order, but it has to be something like 2015, something like that, where we actually released our first version of Bitcoin Unlimited. Back then, it was a Bitcoin uh, client. So I was
Right.
there since the first release. I helped to get the release out, and also even before that, I don't know if Andrew Stone or Andrew Clifford already go through this, but basically we were a group of people that gather through various digital venues like bitcointalk.org, later in another forum where they kicked us out because we dare to speak against the
To change something, right?
the majority the main narrative. But basically what I was involved in the beginning was actually uh sysadmin administration, networking, deploying servers, and look after Explorer, and also in minor part developing the actual full node or other pieces of the infrastructures that was needed. Along the way, I get more used to C++ than I was before. I've always worked with computers all my professional life, so I
Right.
would say that I am a developer. I wasn't a proper C++ developer back then, but since I was a developer for other kind of languages, programming language, let's say that once you reach a certain degree of skill in a certain programming language, it's not so it is difficult, but not so difficult to translate it to some other
Right.
languages, especially if they share the same paradigm. Like if you are talking about object program oriented languages or functional programming languages or stuff like that, if switching from one to the next is not as difficult as it could be if you change also the paradigm between two different languages. So so I was there since the beginning, and I give all I have back then to make it so that let's say that we fight hard to get the big size, the big block war on our side. But unluckily enough, we weren't successful. But in the process, I've learned a lot of things about technical stuff, and also a lot of things about people. Let's say that it was more naive than I am now, and this is not an understatement. I mean, I was very naive is the right
Naive, right?
the right adjective, because I thought, okay, our approach to the scaling problem is basically very straightforward. I mean, I didn't
No, obviously, right?
see so much problem, and I'm still convinced about that. The thing is that I didn't know about how people behave in groups, in big groups, and then so far, let's say that I have had a lot of chances and a lot of occasions to learn different thing about this kind of herd behavior. But another thing that I like to recall of that period is that it is something that somewhat we managed to solve as a project, is that the governance of a given blockchain or a given group of people is very important. The mechanism by which you decide what to do next, and especially to decide if what you did and what you decide is actually correct or wrong. I mean, error correction is something very, very important. The problem is you need to find out, you need to move quick, but you have to be quick also to identify errors in your strategy so that you can reiterate and change your mind if needed. So we, through the mechanism of BUIP and a proposal for the community, or the article of federation that is based that BU is based upon, is something that, in my opinion, move in the right direction when it comes to this kind of thing. So not to bother you again along with this kind of story for longer. Maybe we can move, and then then we have the split between BTC and BCH in 2017. We briefly still maintaining a BTC client, but
Right.
we then decided to move completely to BCH. We have another bunch of little accident along the way. we First we have BSV that fork. Then there's been another big one related to, don't even know the name right now, but
Hmm.
it has to be eCash or something like that. Anyway, long story short, at a certain point, we realized as a group, as BU, that we had our hand tied behind our back when it comes to agility, in terms of what things we can try to thrive as a project.
Right.
And so this is something that Andrew felt really, really deeply, and communicate with us, along the way, especially in the last 2-3 years before the actual launch of Nexa. And I have to say that it was correct, in my opinion, when it comes to those
Right.
kind of things.
Obviously.
Because
Definitely.
yes,
Yeah.
yeah, I mean, it is at a certain point a project start to become difficult to change. This happens to everything that grows, be it
Right.
a company, be it open source project. At a certain point there is a certain level of ossification, if you want to call it, and it is more difficult to change things along the way at runtime, let's say, to keep it on the IT, to use
Right.
an
Right.
IT jargon. So we are lucky right now because we are, somewhat young, even though a year is a lot of time in the crypto space. But the thing is, I think that we have, we are fond to this principle of iterate a lot, and find error quickly if we detect any, and then and move along, and don't be fear of the change that is
Right.
needed sometime. So yes, this is something that so far we managed to maintain, in my opinion.
Right. And can we maybe call that like the disadvantage of being decentralized? Like there's always like two or three different opposite parties that have a
Yeah,
different idea of how to move forward.
yeah. The thing is that yeah, like I said, it always comes down to governance,
Right.
and
Exactly.
it all comes down to the rules that a given community give to to move forward, to decide what to do next. And
Exactly. Right.
yeah, and there is always someone that is not 100% on the same page of the rest of the community.
Exactly.
And this
Right.
is the reason why there is always, especially in crypto, which is even more easy than in real life, to exit. You can try to change the course of your community by lobbying, voting. In BU, you can vote because we have this BIP mechanism that has to be voted to pass, so people can, uh, propose new idea, propose new project, propose new extension to the software, propose new marketing strategy, and then the community can vote and see if we have some kind of, make it explicit, a way to vote among the
Right.
community,
Yeah.
which is already
Yeah. Exactly.
something that is different from BTC, BCH, where there is this idea of rough consensus, and you don't even know who are the stakeholders that can vote. Vote is an awkward, because we don't know what vote means in this context.
Exactly.
So
Right.
this is one of the thing. And then as I said before, then when things went sideways for a part of the community, there's always a possibility to exit. I mean, we did it with BTC, forking the UTXO back in August 2017. But right now, I think that that we have all the pieces in places to make it so that the mechanism to the governance mechanism in BU and in Nexa are explicit enough and are clear enough that we should, minimize, that we will be able to minimize the exit as a mechanism to settle internal argument between different part of the community.
Right. So basically, it's like a fair way of on to vote how to go forward within the project Nexa, right?
Yeah, yeah, and
Yeah.
and also the fact that and maybe Andrew, I guess yes, that Andrew Cliff already talked about it, but so briefly, there is three main figures in the organization of VU. One of them is the lead developer, which so right now is a position that is held by Andrew Stone.
Andrew
And
Stone, right?
yeah,
Yes.
yeah, and Andrew has this attitude toward proposal that are very, in my opinion, good and beneficial to the community itself. Like it is very
Right.
open. I rarely heard him, knack a proposal just like after 5 minutes that someone said something. Also in the dev meeting, in the internal dev meeting, or the more large meeting that we have monthly, it's really rare to see him, uh, say no right away without. It's very open to new thing. As you know,
Absolutely.
let's give
Absolutely.
it a
Yes.
his philosophy. Let's give it a try. If it works, why not?
Right.
Unless there is a glaring objection, like
Like the
moving
obvious one.
to moving to, I don't know, liquid style consensus mechanism where there is, five nodes that decide the everything in a given blockchain. So
Right.
this is the thing. Yeah. So I mean, we are lucky that we have this explicit organization, explicit mechanism to decide where the community decide to go. I have a way to decide the road to take, let's say, and also the fact that Andrews in the last few years, through the fact that he's the lead developer, had a way to contaminate the project with his positive attitude and openness when it comes to new idea.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I fully agree on that. And I think that's also the beauty of Nexa as a project in general, that there is like a lot of guys behind Nexa that launched or developed on Nexa from a let's say a team perspective, Bitcoin Unlimited, and
Mm-hmm.
all all the guys that I'm speaking with on the daily basis, whether it's like Paul or Andrew Stone or you, Andrea,
Mm-hmm.
everybody's like open to progress Nexa forward, right? It's not like
Yeah.
there's what one person um, like sort of against ideas. Everybody's like sort of open-minded
Yeah.
to be able to progress Nexa in general, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, cool. All right. So thank you, Andrea, for that. Was a sort of a long introduction, but appreciate
Sorry.
it. No, it's
Sorry.
all good.
I will keep it. I will keep it short next. The next one. Sorry.
No, it's
I.
all good. It's all good. I just want to touch base on a
Mm-hmm.
question from one of our community members, and
Mm-hmm.
one of it was like in the short term and long term future, what do you see as the biggest let's say challenge of Nexa that we will face alongside as a team together, right? Um,
I mean, I think that there will be many. Among those many, there are a bunch that will be something to look, and that is will and that it will be shared among all cryptos, which will be the government,
right. I think it's a hot
attitude,
topic in general,
policies.
right?
Yeah,
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 yeah.
yeah. So this is one aspect that all cryptos have to, deal with on a daily basis these
Hmm.
days.
Hmm.
There are, we have this news right now. The exchange, what's the name? TXBit or something like that.
TX
That
bit today, right?
with
Yeah.
less than a one month grace period, they decide to, close everything. And I can understand their point. I see their angle.
Yeah.
I would be very nervous if I would
Right.
have in
Obviously.
their place, because right now, like they said, the profit continue to, shrink, and then the daily annoyances that comes from bureaucracy and policies and stuff like that
Right.
are increasing. So I can understand their position, but this is one thing, and then there are other things that are peculiar to Nexa, in my opinion, and we can divide it into parts. One is uh, that, in my opinion, we need to put effort in trying to maintain the actual attitude toward development. The thing that I was saying before about Andrew, being open to new idea and
Right.
having a way to be quick in deciding in the community in a way that it is recognized as, quote, official, so that once it is made it clear through the mechanism that we have in place that someone has been decided to go through, we will go on and we'll proceed with the implementation, or whatever it is, the list of action items that is needed to go through that task or that particular BAP.
Right.
This is
Right.
one thing. So, and the other one is, of course, that we need to uh, keep our attention high to all the aims and goals that we set when we started the project, all the things that
And
we have on our to-do list, which is
like the
uh,
roadmap
yeah, the
you
roadmap.
yeah,
Yeah,
right,
sorry.
right,
Yeah,
right, yeah.
roadmap is right. So UTXO commitment, cash drive DB,
Yes, right, right.
all
Software
the
skills
things
definite.
that we, yeah, this
Right.
is one thing. This is one thing that is the actual, kernel of the the matter. You could do the best you can in all other aspects, like, but if you don't have the actual juice, you are an empty
Right. No,
bottle.
I fully got you. I fully got you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So those are, in my opinion, you have to look for outside of the project for uh, government actions against or for
Right.
cryptos. Then we
But
have to, yeah, go
but
ahead.
in all fairness, like Nexa is like I mean, we are poisoned like to sort of comply with that, right? I mean, obviously we are like not a
No, we are
uh
not a proof of stake.
proof
We
of
had
stake,
we had a
or we
fair lunch. We didn't
right, no
do
ICO,
no
all these
ICO.
type of things,
But
right?
the thing is, let's say that tomorrow some news came out, like, whatever, we are going to call Binance, to close Binance, rather than BTC is declared illegal
Right,
in the US, with immediate effect. You
right,
could have all the guarantees that you want to your side, like the one that we just said, but it is inevitable for us to get some effects of those kind of events to our own project, even though we are not
obviously,
affected
yeah, yeah, yeah.
directly. So yeah, it is. I mean, when I say that we need to pay attention to what governments do and will do, is is a sort in a sort of ways, just to what I want um, to to get through is that the project needs to be aware of the environment where is going to develop, because
Right, right.
you have to keep an eye on those kind of things, because they could be hard on you. And the more awareness there is, the less will be the damage that you will suffer.
Right, I fully agree on that. I mean, that's also partly the reason why we took that, like the legal opinion, right?
Yeah.
When we got listed on Bitmart, we had like a lawyer office to how to say that right, like um to evaluate Nexa in the sense of like, would we be a security? Would we be on any risk of being like having troubles with the SEC and stuff like that? And I think
Yeah.
we did really great there by having this official paper, and obviously this is not something that we can disclose to everybody, to the community,
Sure.
of having by having an NDA and stuff. But I think Nexa is poisoned to overcome like a lot of regularity. But on the other hand, I fully agree with what you're saying. Like there's a um, I mean, this will always be a challenge, right? And especially the
Sure.
next 2 3 years,
Yeah.
if you consider all the exchanges right now that are being charged, then
Yeah.
exchanges being shut down, and um, um, well, proof of stake coins, and also other coins that are like under heavy on regulation right now. That
Yeah.
it's definitely a massive challenge that we are like facing. But on the other hand, is also I mean, this is the same for all the 10,000 other cryptocurrencies around there, right? It's not
Yeah.
for Nexa only, right? It is
Yeah. Yeah.
like
Yeah. It's not peculiar to Nexa. It's something that is
right,
going.
right,
It is shared among all of
exactly,
them.
right, right, right. Okay, Andrea, thank you for that. So yeah, I mean, we are running a little bit out of time already, but maybe we could prolong it for
Sure. No
like 10
problem.
minutes.
No
I
problem.
think people are happy with that. So when it comes to like cryptocurrencies in general, like
Mm-hmm.
let's say 5 years from here,
Mm-hmm.
and also onwards, like how do you see the industry in general, and also um, what type kind of role do you think that Nexa is playing in this whole industry?
So you are asking for a prophecy rather than a prediction, because 5 years
Right, prophecy.
5 years in cryptos is like, 50
It's light
years
years.
in
Right.
real life. Yeah. So,
Yeah,
but let's
let's limit to 2 years.
no,
Let's limit
yeah,
to two
okay,
years
okay,
just in
but
case.
no, it was more a joke more than anything
I
else.
know, I
But
know, I know. Yeah,
yeah,
sure, sure.
I mean, what I'm excited about is that there is a lot of development going on, like in Nexa and outside Nexa.
Right.
There are excellent engineers out there and mathematicians and
Absolutely. Absolutely.
cryptographer. They are working their ass off right now, and I am pretty sure that we are going to bear the fruit of this effort that we are putting in right now in the next years. It's impossible that the work that we are doing, the work that Zcash is doing, the work that mm, pick your alternative project that you like the most, are going through right now is not paying in, let's
Right.
say, 2 to 5 years. I'm very bullish on that. Having said that, even though I think that the trend is upwards, I'm not saying that there won't be a bump here and there along the way. So, uh, what I can do as a developer is keep the focus on my work and try to be the you know less distracted by marketing, like price. Something that I have. This is something that I learned along the way. I'm in crypto for long, and that I would like to admit. And I went through a bunch of cycle. So so somewhat I've developed a thick skin when it comes to price movement and stuff like that. So that skill I've already acquired. But keep focus on the actual work, the juice that I was, like I was calling it before. We have a lot of things to put out there, and
A
the
lot of
sooner, yeah, the sooner the better. I mean, so I'm very very when I when someone talking it could ask me about the future, one of the first thing that comes to mind is the to-do list that are in front of me, mentally, but also on my desk. And it is something that I really like to have it cleared as soon as possible. This is impossible because the to-do list is something that already grow, always grow. There's no it is a sort of physical law or something like that. There's
right, right.
you can work as much as you want, but
It's
there's
never
always
ending,
something
isn't
never ending. But it is,
it?
but because once
Yeah.
you solve a problem, other interesting problem came out that
It
stem
comes
from
up,
the
yeah.
solution. Yeah, the solution that you have. We as a civilization go through, a lot different level of, technology that we develop to sustain ourselves. And every time that we have solved a problem, we create another set of problem, or we are, confronted with another set of problem that, developed by the fact that we move on to the next step of the technical, evolution. So every time that it is almost sure that every time that you're going to have a new thing out there that you solve a scalability issue, or some dimension of the scalability problem, there will be other things that will need to take care of. So I'm okay with the fact that my to-do list would never be empty. But at the same time, I'm very, very, focused and concentrated to stick to it. So because I gave my
Right.
word, and then my commitment to that, and I want to, uh, maintain my promise to community and to my colleagues.
Right. But you actually gave me a little bridge, because you said like your to-do list is never getting empty, and um, maybe you can share some top priorities of the to-do list that you have right
So
now.
right now is one of the main thing, the main thing that I need to look after, and which is not direct to when it comes to, let's say, split my to-do list in two parts. One is the node software itself, the Nexa, the code base, which is the one from which our full node came
Right.
from.
Right.
And the other part is the let's say the environment, or the galaxy that is around the kernel, which is the node itself. So the for the node, one of the things that I'm focusing right now is clearing the code from a lot of let's say technical debt that we have right now, which are all the part of the code that are not used anymore, that are still there because we were in a rush to put out Nexa last year. For example, we are not using P2SH anymore, but the code is still there. We are not
It's
using
still
it,
there, right? Yeah.
but it's still
Hmm.
there. So
Hmm.
we need to remove a lot of things. And even for a future like that in my mind, before I started the task, seemed like something isolated. I discovered that it was not, and so I have to touch a lot of places. I have to be more careful than the usual, because you're going to touch consensus layer. You're going to touch the Q&A test suite. So it's places where you risk to, if you are not careful enough, and if the development process is not followed to the letter, you are going to make mistakes. So this is something that I'm going to focus in the next week or so, and this is something that I want to be done, because having code that is not there to be used doesn't make sense, and confuse
Right. Right.
people that are coming, that are new, and say, but we on the spec is said that we are not using P2SH anymore, but the code is there. Why is there? Why there is this comment here in the middle of
A lot
file
of
that I
questions,
prefer? Yeah.
right? Yeah.
So this is one. On the other side,
Hmm.
which is all the rest, I'm looking to improve the Explorer, and in such a way that it will be fully you will be able to fully serve the tokenization economics that is going to grow a lot now that multiple tools to make it easier for the community to create new tokens are
Right.
out
Right.
there right now. So
For
that,
instance, Otaplo is coming soon,
yeah,
right?
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. So, and also a little bit of restructuring of the code, because one of the problem, not to become, no, I don't want to, to get too technical, but one of the things that the Explorer is based on JavaScript. There are
Right.
React
Right.
React experts in the particular case. One of the things that I've learned about JavaScript is that those libraries that everybody used are very easy to get updated, and they are very interconnected together. You need an let's say that you need a library that you evaluate that is fine and everything, but if you go a layer below, you see that that library brings in another 10 libraries as dependency, and
Right.
each of them has another 10, and then the three
And makes it
become
complicated in the end,
yeah,
right?
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
it is very, very easy that for a project like an Explorer, which is not as complicated as one could estimate in looking at the application, but it is very, very easy to get outdated and to have some library that is not up to date and could
Right.
expose this or that problem. So yeah,
It needs
one of
like
the
a
things,
continuous like
yeah,
effort of having
it
it
is,
like up to date,
yeah,
right?
yeah, it is
Yeah.
something that you have always to look after. Is one of
Right.
it is a
Day after
it is
day.
yeah, and I don't want to call it disadvantage, but yeah, this is something that
Oh, but that's
requires.
how it is. Like,
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah,
technology develops like at the speed of light in the end. So,
yeah.
um,
JavaScript, especially in
r-
respect to C++,
right,
let's say,
right,
it's completely different kind of velocity when it comes to that.
right. Cool. So, okay, Andrea, thank you for that also. I mean, once again, we are running a little bit out of time. So far, it
Hmm.
has been the longest know the team AMA that we had so far. So, um, just like usual, I will ask you the same question as I did to Paul
Hmm.
and both Andrews. And like, is there anything that you would like to share with the community? Is there any last sentence that you would like to tell them? What they can expect in the short future? Just an average comment on your side.
Yeah, one thing that I would say to the community is that I was really amazed by the reaction that the crypto world had uh,
Right,
to the next project in general. I was very, very surprised and very, I was positively surprised. I was very happy about that, and it's really a good thing to see people that really care about the project that you are working on. It's
right.
something that give you uh,
Motivation
the
in the end.
motivation and then the focus that you need to go through to the day-to-day routine, and then to go through your to-do list and then and get things done. It is something that really, really helped me. I see people that are that look after the project as something, even though they are not at the wheel, but they really, you see that they really care about it, that they really
Yeah,
are involved. It's not a matter of money on price and stuff like that. It is something
right.
that I really
Engagement.
felt. Yeah.
Right. Yeah. No, I mean, this is something that I mean, obviously, I am like more like directly within the community, right? I mean,
Hmm.
on the marketing side of things, I'm speaking with all the community members that we have on a daily basis, and um, for me, this is something that is like to witness. It's something super awesome because I mean, you see the commitment from people too, right? Like spreading the word around, getting people
Hmm.
involved within Nexa, getting developers on board, and yeah, it's super awesome to witness. Like from I'm between brackets outside perspective, right? I'm not developing any code or whatever, so um, I can fully understand and agree with what you're saying, that the commitment of the community is something to cherish on one side,
Yeah.
but also to acknowledge on the other side, right?
Yeah, 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 for sure. This is something that I would like, and that I really like to tell the community, the thing that I felt back during the launch, but also during this first year and counting of the Nexa existence is something
Right,
that helped me a lot along the way, for sure.
right. So guys, being positive, show love to the developers. That's all that's gonna make them work harder, right? This is what you hear here. Hear here.
Yeah, for sure.
No, but it's
You
true.
know,
It's true. It's absolutely true. Yeah. Cool. All right. Yeah, I guess we are like at the end of the
okay.
AMA. So Andrea, once again, appreciate a lot that you took your time to get here. I think the community is happy to listen to you, to hear your side of the story, and yeah, once again, much appreciated, and also for everybody joining in, tuning in today. Thank you very much for being here. Obviously, I did record the call, so I'll be sharing it tomorrow. Um, and oh yeah, very exciting, by the way, because next up we will have Peter Risen live on air, and um, there have been a lot of questions about how is Nexa going to scale, um, what kind of programs slash developers are on board to achieve this scalability, and Peter Risen will be there on the 4th of September, if I'm not mistaken. I'm saying this by heart now.
Okay.
So he will be here, and absolutely it will be an exciting call as well.
For sure.
So yeah, sure. Make sure that everybody share your questions, share your thoughts, and I'll try to put that within the 30 minutes time frame that we have. But like you see today, we went a little bit over the 30 minutes, but happy to do so.
Sorry about that. It was the,
No, it's all good.
the
It's
falling
all good.
off
I mean,
thing.
was a great chat. Was a great chat after all. So.
Okay.
Right. So, Andrea, once again, thank you very much for taking your time for this. I'm sure the community appreciated it a lot. And yeah, guys, see you all next time. Thank you for tuning in, and the recording will be shared by tomorrow.
Thanks to you. It was a pleasure. Bye, everybody.
Right. Thank you, Andrea.
Bye bye.
Bye bye. See you.